Hi, thanks for joining me. Today we're going to talk about what is music distribution and what services do they provide. Music distribution is the role of getting the music into stores. Simple as that. Either digital stores or physical stores. In 2001, the recording industry was almost exclusively physical, but now digital music is the predominant global recording revenue. Accordingly, most music distribution turned from managers taking care of physical products into providers of digital infrastructure and rights administrators. In other words, they make music available for streaming and downloads. And maybe more importantly, pay royalties. More on this in just 1 second. But first, I want to give you something for free. It's a royalty checklist, so you can finally see how and where the royalties come from and are collected. I'm Debbie Eagle, the Street's entertainment attorney, and this is my YouTube channel, eMusic Entertainment, where we talk about the music business. And I try to give you practical advice to help you gain and grow in this industry. In this video, we are going to talk about distribution and royalties. So I want to give you a chart that will help you to see how to collect the royalties from a sound recording. So, in order to get that, simply go to my website at www.emusicentertainment.net/master royalty. Fill in the form and I will have the chart delivered straight to your inbox. This will help you to see where the income streams are in the music industry. So let's begin by looking at this and reviewing DSPs. Today, in the digital age, platforms that house music are known as digital service providers, or DSPs. There are over 600 digital outlets. Examples of streaming services are Spotify, Apple, Deezer. iHeartRadio has a streaming service, and Tidal, along with the social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, which has been breaking records, and then everything in between. In fact, most of the DSPs out there don't allow for direct music uploads at all, forcing the artists to go through distributors/aggregators. So, digital distribution. Music distributors are companies that specialize in getting your music out worldwide. They do this by providing a pipeline which sends your sound file and its metadata, song title, cover art, songwriters, rights holders, all that information, producers, featured vocalists, to the different streaming services that house your music, and then distributors collect streaming and royalty data in order to pay out the master rights holder what's due to them. Physical distribution involves getting your music out in physical formats such as CDs or vinyl. Physical distributors will help you manufacture and package your music and then put it in the physical stores and other outlets. Now, royalties allocation is the second core function of the distributors. So they collect the royalties from the DSPs, making sure that every master dollar finds its way back to the master rights owners, while the composition and publishing royalties go through a separate pipeline, CMOs, PROs, and publishers. If you need to know more about this, check out my tutorials on the PA and the SR copyright. The link will be posted underneath this video. So there are at least two roles distributors provide: getting the artist's music out and passing down recording royalties back to the rights owners. However, it doesn't end there. On the contrary, Most distributors have expanded their offers far beyond these basic aggregation services, which I will discuss in a few minutes. But for now, let's find out what the different types of distribution are. There are a number of different kinds of music distributors out there, ranging from smaller independent companies to larger established label majors. It's important to research the different options available to you and to find the one that best suits your needs. It's also important to remember that not all music distributors are created equal. Some may charge high fees or offer features you don't even need. It's important to read the fine print and make sure that you're getting the services you need and want at the price you can afford. Almost all of the distribution companies are involved with trade marketing, but the extent of that involvement can be very different. Some of them will provide their clients with a set of promotion tools and best practices on how to pitch editorial teams. Others will give a dedicated team of playlist pluggers behind your release and a rep to consult with on your distribution strategy, sometimes called a label manager, if you make it worth their time. This gives you a better idea of the range of services and what to expect from the distributors. So that will help in making the decision when you are ready. It may also be a good idea to look at what other artists they work with and the genre that they are predominantly pushing. So first, there are direct artist platforms, right? Like Bandcamp or SoundCloud. They don't even require a distributor. You just go on, set up an artist page, upload your music, and you're good to go. Then the next level would be aggregators with open distribution. You go on the platform, you upload your music, and they will release it across hundreds of DSPs. There is the basic service that all of them perform online, and depending on the service, the distributor charges either a flat fee per song or album, or an annual reoccurring subscription fee, or a percentage-based commission, which can go from 0 up to 15%. Well, not 0, right? Or any combination of the three. These are companies such as CD Baby, Ditto, DistroKid, TuneCore. With these companies, you have to realize it is difficult to pick up the phone and speak to a rep about your project or an issue you may be having with the site, like you were scheduled to be released on this date, but the song isn't out, and you've already promoted it as such. But some of these companies now offer artist services as an add-on. Depending on the company, that could mean playlist pitching, bundles, publishing administration services, physical distribution, and more. But remember this, VIP, this is a pay-to-play service. Then there are some distributors that aggregation is a side service. Their real value is the hands-on approach to promotion, trade marketing, and digital release strategies. From the moment you sign a distribution deal with one of these companies, you have at your disposal a dedicated consultant or label manager and pitching team in direct contact with editorial staff across the major DSPs such as Spotify and Apple. These independent distribution companies are like Symphonic, Believe, and Empire. In order to be considered for these deals, the distributor looks at the potential cash flow that you bring in as the artist in the number of streams you have, so that the distributor makes it worth their while to give you access to their team and resources. The major distributors own a catalog big enough to negotiate on par with the likes of Spotify or Apple and get direct access to the editorial teams. They do pitch meetings maybe once a week with the curators. They have a dedicated staff and actually have 85% of the revenue for digital distribution in the US market. They have the power of major labels and they're affiliated with the major labels. And they can provide services such as commercial strategies, sync licensing, audience development, radio promo, and press and publicity. So you're talking about companies that are affiliated with the likes of Sony, which would be the Orchard, Universal, which would be InGrooves, and Warner. Major distribution companies are Sony Orchard, Universal InGrooves, and Warner. There are also some new hybrid models. This last type of distribution company models rely on music industry shifting from making music to marketing music. The idea of a semi-label distribution is simple. Your music has to be approved by the company's curators, number one. Number two, they distribute your music. Number three, they grab all the data from across all the DSPs, which is all the platforms. And if the company's A&R determines that the artist is doing well and starting to pop, they can offer a distribution partnership and include scaled investment into PR, digital advertising, brand partnerships, and so on. These companies are AWAL and Amuse. In this day and age, labels have moved away from making recordings, and artist deals have really been by marketing-based licensing agreements. Labels are now focusing almost solely on release marketing. And it's hard for independents to break through and take on the distribution unless, of course, they have a special relationship with maybe some curators from Spotify or Apple so that they can get the streaming numbers. This really begs the question as to whether major companies in the future will just take on marketing and promo services as their primary function in the record industry as it sits today. This would, in effect, turn distributors into the new record labels, right? And you already see that connection with the Orchard, Sony, InGrooves, Universal, Ada, Warner. Finally, remember, it takes some amount of time to set up with a distributor. Give yourself a few weeks to figure this out prior to releasing your music. They may have to approve your music. You may have to go in and upload on the portal and there's a glitch. And you have to decide, more important, in the overall scheme of your music artist strategy, whether it is more beneficial to be the big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond. So, on that note, I'm going to end this conversation today about distribution. You can always hit me up on my website or on my email, and follow me on Instagram and YouTube to get more information. Thanks for allowing me to be a part of your journey, and I'm wishing you nothing but success in your music career. Have a great day. This is Debbie, the Streets Entertainment Attorney.